Hey, what's up everybody? It's Chris Kunz at the Rich Casino Real Estate Group, and on today's episode of Real Estate Simplified, I'm going to talk a little bit more about your earnest money deposit and when it could potentially be at risk. So just to backtrack a little bit, your earnest money deposit, also known as your EMD, otherwise known as your good faith deposit, at least in the Sacramento area, is going to be right around 1% of your purchase price. That deposit is going to be due within the first 3 business days that you're in escrow, and it's going to be held in an escrow account until we close. So it's not going directly into the seller's bank account or anything like that. It's held by a third party until we close escrow, get you the keys, and that money will go to the seller. And also understand that that good faith deposit is going to end up going towards your down payment. So you're not necessarily going to have to contribute as much money as you might think out of pocket when we go to close escrow. So what types of situations could arise where that earnest money deposit could be liable? Say we're going through your inspection period and we either don't have clarity on a certain inspection report, or it's taking us longer than we expected to the information and get a request for repairs over to the seller. If we're acting outside of the contingency timeframes that we set in place in the agreement, that's when your deposit starts to become liable. Another situation that could arise is sometimes an appraisal report can take longer than expected to come back. That's why it's really important to make sure that you're working with an agent who understands the contingency timeframe process, has good relationships with the listing agent, and basically just keeps communication channels open in the event that any hiccups come up. Because ultimately, if you're able to get in front of situations like that, where you know you're going to need a little bit more time, you can issue what's called an extension of time addendum, which is requesting an additional X amount of days in order for you to get all the information that you need to act on a contingency. So it's also important to understand that in order for a seller to go after your deposit, they need to issue a document that's called a notice to perform. A notice to perform is a document that's issued when a buyer is acting outside of the contingency timeframes that have been agreed upon. And ultimately, once I, as your agent, receive that document, you have 48 hours to do one of 3 things. You can remove that contingency, move forward with the deal, you can begin negotiations associated with that contingency, or you can remove yourself from the deal, recoup your deposit, and get back into the house hunt. If you have any other questions about how your deposit works, when it's due, how to submit it, and what situations it could potentially be at risk, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me a DM, let me know. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys tuning into this week's video. Hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully we'll see everybody soon. Stay safe out there.